The iPad mini with the A17 Pro, or in other words, what I like to call the iPad mini 7, has been out for a year now. And I want to talk about my experience of using this. I've used other iPads throughout my time with iPad Pro, iPad 11th gen, and so on and so forth. But this is still my main iPad. This is the only iPad that I carry with me on the daily, that I always come back to no matter what. Those, yes, I test them out, but this is the iPad that I still use, and I think it's the actual iPad. Like, this is the only iPad that still gives just iPad, experiences. iPad Pro is trying to go, at least for me, towards being a replacement for my Mac, which doesn't work, obviously. But iPad mini, it's not like that. It's just being an iPad. Yes, it still has Final Cut Pro, which we're going to get to in a moment. It does have like these really pro apps that you can use, but I don't know, just for me, it feels like an iPad. So this design, it's compact, it's lightweight, and it's the most portable iPad in Apple's lineup, and I hope that Apple does not get rid of it. Now, I use my iPad mini in landscape like 90% of the time. The 10%, I will use it like this. So if I'm like reading, like, I don't know, if I'm reading an ebook or anything like that, then I'll use it just in this way. But for most times, I'm using it just like this because I like to watch lots of YouTube videos, content consumption, all the great stuff. When I am making wallpapers like this one right here, Vintage Flourish, links will be in the description down below, then I will use it in this form, which I have with the Apple Pencil Pro. It's great. I like this. It's got flat edge design and it feels really premium and easy to hold one hand. Some may argue it's got super thick bezels, and yeah, I get it, but like when you're playing a game like this or you're just holding it, you don't want to have accidental touches. So I do understand why this iPad mini does have a little bit more of thicker bezels. I do appreciate USB-C is still here. Obviously it was with its predecessor, but it's great. Touch ID is also here, which I don't use, but it's nice to know that it's there. It's reliable and fast. And this small form factor, if you ask me, I think it's perfect for travel. It's perfect for like when you're on the couch and you're just browsing, or you just want to watch a video or anything like that. Or if it's like a quick work on the go. Actually, what I would have loved to have purchased last year, which I didn't, is a cellular iPad mini. Would have been perfect. But if you have Wi-Fi everywhere, you can still work while on the go. This is great. I have Wi-Fi wherever I go, so I guess I don't need it, but most times, like, I'm opening hotspot too. So having a cellular model would have been great. Maybe for the iPad mini 8, who knows? We'll see. Now, there isn't 120 Hz ProMotion display here. I don't know if we'll get it. One can only dream, and I know a lot of people who have an iPad mini would love to see a ProMotion 120 Hz display on an iPad mini. I hope we do someday, very soon in the future. But again, after reviewing, trying other iPads, this still remains my go-to and only iPad because of its practicality. I absolutely love it. Like, I don't want to carry something that's like super large, like the iPad Pro, whether it's the 11-inch or the 13-inch. But I also may want to, take care of some work that's a little bit too much for my iPhone. I think this is the perfect size, and having the Apple Pencil Pro does help with that. But again, super easy to carry, just throw in my bag, no issues whatsoever. Another thing that I want to talk about with this design, it's super thin, and I would have liked to have seen it a little bit thicker to house a larger battery. I'm all for it. Maybe in the future, again, we'll see. Current rumors are indicating that we may just get another spec upgrade, maybe with an A18 Pro, maybe even an A19 Pro, who knows? Or maybe we just might even get one and in the next year or two get an OLED iPad mini. I don't know, but hopefully we get some sort of upgrade that has at least a ProMotion. That's like just the one biggest thing that myself and I know a lot of other people would like to see. But let's talk about the performance. It has the A17 Pro chipset, and it keeps this device incredibly fast. Like, even a year later, it still packs a punch. That's to be expected. It handles multitasking, Apple Pencil tasks, gaming, media consumption with no problem. A lot of the apps you see here on the home screen are the ones that I use every single day. I have my Notion widget right here. I have Camera, which I actually don't use like all the time, but I just keep it on my home screen just because. Obviously YouTube right here. And then we swipe over here. There are some miscellaneous apps, but I also do have other apps that I use. Canva I'm using here, which is actually really good. I also do have Grok and ChatGPT, and I use both of them to see which one does better. Sometimes I like the response Grok gives a little bit more than ChatGPT and vice versa, so I am using those for the business for MTG. Final Cut Pro I don't use too often, but here and there I will try it out to, and use it for my short form videos. And then I have Notability to take notes. I used to use it much more often when I was, finishing up my college career. But as of right now, I'm not using it all the time, but it's still there. Then I have some socials right here. I do have TikTok, LinkedIn, and X. And then obviously Procreate to make wallpapers. LumaFusion again for video editing, which I personally go back to Final Cut Pro. And then Photoshop and Lightroom, which I use Lightroom more often actually. Let's bring this, let's do edit home screen and bring the Final Cut Pro app into the photos and videos. Bam, just like that. And let's do imaging edge as well. Bring that in there just like that. I also do have YouTube Studio. Then there is the journal app, which I've tried a couple times. I usually like to just write in hand rather than like taking notes as a journal. So I don't know. I do journal, but I just do it with a normal journal and a normal, pen. Pen and paper. So I kind of do it the old way. But overall, it's been great in the performance department. iPad OS is really great. It's obviously not Mac OS, but I'm not looking to have Mac OS on, my iPad mini. However, there are a couple things that I do like with iPad OS 26, for example. Like I can now change the size of the app that I'm using. It's like Mac OS where I can X minimize or make it full screen. Let's make it full screen just like that. So it's great. Like I like some of the updates that iPad OS has, and they have them pretty much on essentially all of their iPads, which is great, including the iPad mini. So that's something I do appreciate. But overall, it's not trying to replace my laptop. It works what I like to call this iPad mini a companion device. It's a perfect balance between portability and power. And I've used iOS 18 on this, or iPad OS 18, and now iPad OS 26, and it's been very, very smooth, no problems whatsoever. So yeah, this is the companion device that I love to carry with me all the time and use it. It's mainly meant for content consumption, and I use it for my business. I'm building scripts, bullet points, mainly bullet points. I'm doing a lot of research on this too for the business, how I can continue to grow, make better content, things like that. So it's pretty much based on just two aspects, content consumption and using it for business purposes, but it's really been great. Display quality itself, 8.3-inch liquid retina display. It's sharp, it's bright, it's colorful, but obviously it's not going to be an OLED, so it's not the greatest. Doesn't get super, super bright, and it's not a ProMotion 120 hertz. I think it's a disappointment. 60 hertz is like, especially nowadays, we're in 2025 where almost all the devices we use are 120 hertz. Even the base iPhone 17 is now 120 hertz. Come on, I think we can do better. I still think though, putting that aside, it's perfect. It's the perfect size for reading, for gaming, for media consumption. When you don't want to use your iPhone screen or if it's too small. Speakers are actually surprisingly loud, which is awesome. I do like it. And overall, I think Apple did a good job with this, and I do hope that they continue to keep the mini lineup. Please don't axe the mini lineup like you did with the iPhone mini. I know the sales weren't the greatest. They'll probably argue the sales with the iPad mini isn't that great, but I think it's actually really good. The battery life is actually good for its size. For me, it lasts an entire day. Sometimes it lasts 2 days, depending on how much I use it. Definitely not going to be up there with the other iPads, but that's completely okay. I'm glad it still continues to rock USB-C, which it has been since the iPad mini 6, its predecessor, so that's good. And for a companion device, I think it's reliable for daily use. Again, if you're not using it like a heavy user, it's going to last you 2 days easily. Now, this is a little bit pricey. It was like $4.99 at one point, but I've seen this device go on sale like $3.99, so that's a huge plus. For those who want something bigger than an iPhone but smaller than a standard iPad, I truly think that this is the sweet spot. And like I said, after reviewing other iPads, like the iPad 11th Gen, like the iPad Pro, this iPad mini still remains unique and irreplaceable for me in Apple's lineup. I think the iPad mini, just to wrap things up, with the A17 Pro is still one of the most versatile and enjoyable iPads that I have used, especially 1 year later. And I can argue, for me, it's the best purchase, just the iPad mini lineup in general, best purchase and best product that I have used, period. Because of what it does for me personally, just being that companion device. It's not a laptop replacement, it's not a pro tool, but the perfect companion device for everyday life. You don't need to buy it to use for like business purposes. You can use it just for content consumption, or you can vice versa. You don't need to use it for content, just strictly for business purposes. I think it gets the job done. If you want something that's ultra portable, that still feels really powerful, the mini remains the best choice. And with all the new iPads coming out, Apple, recently unveiling the iPad Pro M5 chipset, which is going to be a very powerful chipset. You may see content on the iPad Pro here on the channel. This still, for me, keeps its place as my favorite iPad. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and hopefully we get a new iPad mini, whether it's a spec upgrade or a huge redesign soon. I would love to get one. But definitely be sure to superman the like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video, because it really does help out the channel out a lot. It will help push my content out to more people. Definitely be sure to check out my latest wallpaper pack right here. It's called Vintage Flourish. Links will be in the description down below. And I'll catch you all in the next episode. Definitely be sure to check out my other links here, like my Apple Watch band and also this iPad mini case. And I'll catch you all in the next episode.